Reflections from the Past. Modern society regards as uncouth the person who doesn't wash and deodorize every day. Yet this is a custom of relatively recent vintage. As recently as the 1950s, many working-class Americans still lived in cold-water flats without a bathtub. For persons who grew up in humble circumstances, bathing once a week was the norm, traditionally on Saturday night, in order to be clean for church services the next day. Daily bathing was simply too inconvenient, more a luxury than a necessity. As the first 3 decades of this century progressed, tubs came to be installed in virtually all new dwellings and retrofitted in many others. The trend was slowed by the Depression and World War II, but resumed at a hastened pace during the era of post-war prosperity. Now, of course, the basic question asked by prospective homeowners and renters is not whether the dwelling has bathing facilities, but how many. Cultural acceptance of daily bathing was sparked in great measure by an annual Bath a Day campaign mounted by the plumbing industry to promote sales of bathtubs and related products. The campaign was originated in 1914 by the Old Domestic Engineering magazine. A few years later, it was adopted and expanded by the Trade Extension Bureau, forerunner of today's Plumbing, Heating, Cooling Information Bureau, which came into existence in 1919. The soap industry soon joined in with an allied effort of extensive consumer promotion. Bath a Day was sustained throughout the 1920s with a variety of promotions, quite successfully it seems. Consider this editorial from the New York World, December 13, 1929. The time is soon coming, according to the computations of those attending the soap convention in Chicago, when every night will be Saturday night in the American home, and a bath will be taken every day as a matter of course by the whole of the American nation. Already we consume 3 billion pounds of soap per annum, which would indicate a bath 2 or 3 times a week for everybody, and the total tends to rise. Much of the credit, it seems to us, will go to the manufacture of bathroom fixtures. The strides they have made in the last 30 years are hardly to be described in prose. As late as the Spanish-American War, most Americans, if they had bathrooms at all, were provided with tubs made out of some shiny metal, probably tin, and with other fixtures of the same general pattern. Obtaining hot water was extremely difficult, involving, as it did, a deal of yelling to Sarah down in the kitchen to start the heater going, or else requiring the operation of a smelly heater in the bathroom itself. Now, however, all that is changed. In the big cities, even the cheapest apartment has a bathroom that would put the best bathrooms 30 years ago to shame. The fixtures are porcelain, or of metal enameled in an excellent imitation of porcelain. The hot water runs hot water. The floor is tiled, and so are the walls. And in the better apartments, the bathroom begins to be exceedingly luxurious. Tubs sunk in the floor are by no means uncommon, deep enough to float in. The banality of dead white has been replaced by bold colors. The metal and stone are quite artistic. This nation will presently demand, as a minimum requirement in its bath, out-and-out voluptuousness, and this, it might be argued, is in itself a kind of civilization. People reach their highest development when a touch of luxury enters into their living, when they become aware of their personal dignity and insist on it no matter what happens. Fastidiousness is the inevitable result of luxurious bathing, and it is rather pleasant, on the whole, to realize that the American people are requiring it. The New York World writer was quite restrained in his enthusiasm compared with an unnamed contractor who penned an article published in the Illinois Master Plumber magazine, claiming that regular bathing was a useful antidote to Bolshevism. He reasoned that being clean would make the downtrodden feel better about themselves and less liable to rise up against authority. If we can spread the gospel of more baths and greater cleanliness, he wrote, we will be getting nearer to godliness and away from the unclean atheism of the Bolshevik. He added, let our slogan be banish Bolshevism by bathtubs.